Now, a picture of Snoop Dogg with a Texas trooper and what DPS decided to do to the trooper had a lot of people calling The Voice. Also, a fired high school motivational speaker and a criminal suspect calls The Voice himself. But we start with 4 teenagers in a cop confrontation caught on camera in downtown Dallas. Here is your viewer's voice. The teenagers were confronted outside El Centro by college police officers, verbally and physically roughed up.
Thank you to the person who took the time to record. The officers that were really using bad conduct. There was no reason that I could see to treat those young men that way.
The 2 officers are on administrative leave while their actions are investigated.
If they're so tough, send them to Afghanistan. Let's just see how tough they really are.
Well, I guess this former El Centro employee has your answer.
Those 2 have done a wonderful job. Officer Alicia Colon is also historic. She is the oldest woman to ever serve in the Iraq War.
Those boys weren't hurt, and they won't be damaged for the rest of their life. I'm sure there's more to the story than what that man taped.
A veteran DPS trooper was disciplined and ordered to undergo counseling for what every caller thought was trumped-up trouble.
Y'all must be crazy. Everybody want to take a picture with Snoop Dogg.
Yep, DPS says the trooper posed with a, quote, known criminal. It was actually the rapper who wanted the picture, then posted it to Instagram.
What is the world coming to when you're going to penalize a deputy for taking a picture with Snoop Dogg? The deputy probably didn't even know who Snoop Dogg was.
We want him to leave him alone, let him do his job.
The trooper's attorney says the discipline is retaliation for a complaint the trooper lodged against a state investigator. Every viewer who called thought it was idiocracy.
Are you kidding me? See, that's the problem now. Officers are not allowed to mingle with the public. That's the problem right there.
Keller High School apologized to students and parents after a motivational speaker went off script and talked about his faith. It also seemed to take pride, saying the speaker's employer had fired him.
It's plumb pathetic what our world's come to. It is to where the punks in high school are running people, grown people, out of job. That is crazy because you mentioned the word Jesus, and that poor man, God will bless him.
I may or may not have done it.
Callers to The Voice pretty much categorized a Dallas mayor candidate as crazy after he went on Fox 4 News and said he may or may not have done the graffiti police have categorized a hate crime and charged him for. Then Richard Sheridan himself called The Voice.
Calling to thank Fox 4 News for doing a fairly decent, balanced segment.
Sheridan refused to admit he did it, but said he knew painting 666 on landmarks associated with the LGBT community wasn't a hate crime.
And it was an act of love and a biblical warning, and I'm not a hateful person.
I was trying to have kind of an insider moment with Viewers Voice fans this week. Near the Earl Campbell Federal Building. That's the Earl Campbell Federal Building in downtown Dallas. But I learned my lesson. Nobody listens.
You said the Earl Campbell building, and then you came back and said the Earl Campbell building, because you know I will be calling.
No, it wasn't. It's not. Okay. The Voice, me, officially gives up on this. That is all.
All I want is a slushie. That's all she said.
In Philadelphia, a 4-year-old girl wanted a slushie, so she got out of bed at 3 a.m. She got dressed, sneaked out of her house, and in the rain, boarded a bus and went looking for one. The bus driver called police, and it was an all's well that ends well situation.
I would have wanted to discipline her, but she dressed herself so well and did such an outstanding job to get on the bus. I don't know. I'm kind of having mixed feelings.
Finally, a funeral home operator in Fort Worth decided that when a 102-year-old woman died on her birthday, even though she had no family, she should be honored. Strangers gathered to pay their respects to Maddie Robbins, who had lived in a nursing home for 10 years.
The story of the old lady who had no family, that really touched my heart. Now, that was a wonderful story to know that there's love in the world.
Love in the world, and for a change this week, some love in the voice. 214-720-3103 or send an email from the website fox4news.com.